Okay. Okay, put your mommy back on the phone, all right? Yeah.
Room service.
6 weeks to graduation, right?
Are you gonna tell my parents?
You're prostituting yourself, and that's what you're worried about?
We were always careful, and nothing ever happened.
Your friend got killed.
By some psycho rapist.
She wasn't raped, Donna. Now, our best theory is that she got killed by somebody she met on the job. You know, we could have saved a lot of time if you'd have told us what she was doing.
It didn't seem like the thing to mention.
How many of you are in this?
Me, Lisa, you met her, and Bridget started it.
When?
Last fall.
Why?
She wanted the money.
So, who doesn't?
Guys would take her out and spend $300 for dinner and a show, when all they wanted was to go to bed with her. She figured, why not save the time and skip the boring play?
Why not? There's crazy people. There's AIDS.
We'd always use condoms.
Bridget was murdered. We want to talk to her customers. Who were they?
I just know mine.
Who took the phone calls when somebody answered the ad? Who sent you out?
Shelley. She just got involved with us a couple of months ago. She kind of took over the scheduling.
Miss Taggart, we need to talk to you about Bridget Kalin.
I don't know what else I could tell you. Anyway, I know this is going to sound terrible, but I've got to meet a real estate broker. I'm in between apartments.
Where are you living?
My father. What do you want to know, anyway?
The names of Bridget Kalin's Johns.
Or what?
We know, Miss Taggart. Detective Curtis here is the Mr. Jenkins you sent Donna Richland to last night at the Hapgood house.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Donna told us.
That I sent her to a hotel?
Look, all we need are the names of the people you sent Bridget Kalin to.
I still don't know what you're talking about.
We're not out to get your little prostitution ring. All we want to do is...
Look, I don't know what Donna told you, but this is ridiculous. I have an appointment. I'm late.
I work for a company that operates 17 stores. A lot of shoe vendors want our business. I guess Mr. Taggart felt the need to treat me well.
And that included providing you with prostitutes.
He had some girls in a hospitality suite at a footwear show.
Including Bridget Kalin.
Yes?
Did you see her after that first occasion?
Yes. I liked her. Mr. Taggart gave me the number to call to arrange more dates. The girl who answered the phone set them up.
Who was that girl, Mr. Freeman?
Well, I realized it was Shelley, Mr. Taggart's daughter.
So this was a full-service family business. He provided the shoes. His daughter provided her friend.
Objection. Sustained.
Mr. Freeman, are you sure that the woman who set up your dates with Bridget Kalin was Shelley Taggart?
Yes. I knew her from when I had gotten her a summer sales job once at her father's request. She quit after 2 weeks.
She preferred selling Bridget Kalin?
Objection. Sustained. That's enough, Mr. McCoy.
When did you see her last?
A few weeks before she was killed. I had been trying to see her. I called her directly, but she said she wouldn't be making any more dates.
Did you ever discuss that fact with the defendant?
Yes. I called Shelley to make some other arrangement. I told her Bridget was quitting. Shelley got very angry, but she said I shouldn't worry. She'd take care of it.
I only meant that I'd get him somebody else.
Another prostitute.
Yes. I just started this whole thing to help my father. I knew what was going on at those trade shows with his clients and those escorts, and I knew they were trouble. They stole.
So you volunteered to help out?
I knew what Bridget and her friends were doing. I told my father.
We've heard testimony that you and she argued the day she was killed.
Yeah, About her borrowing my outfits and not returning them. We fought like little girls about clothes. It was stupid. It was nothing.
Did you see Bridget the night she was killed?
No.
Then how did your fingerprints come to be on her study desk?
We used to study in the stacks together all the time. I used to sit at that desk sometimes.
Did you ever see your father in the library?
Yes. He would sometimes come and meet me and Bridget and then take us for a drink. He met her through me.
Did he have any trouble getting into the stacks?
He's an alumnus. He has a card.
I see. What about Bridget's cameo? How did that come to be in the apartment you shared with your father?
My father brought it there. He told me...
Approach, Your Honor.
There's only one place the witness can be going with this.
So, let's hear her testimony. If Mr. McCoy has an objection, he can make it then.
After she accuses her father of this murder, once that bell is rung, I can't unring it. I want an offer of proof before she says another word.
I'll see the lawyers and Miss Taggart in my chambers. Now.
It's a desperate act by the defendant to manufacture reasonable doubt. There is no evidence to support the allegation.
That's what we're here to determine, Mr. McCoy. Is it, in fact, your intention, Miss Taggart, to accuse your father of this murder?
He told me he killed Bridget.
Did he tell you why?
Not really. I know he was having an affair with her. I was home that night studying when my father came in. He was very upset.
How could you tell?
He didn't say hi. He just poured a drink. And then he started to cry.
What did he say?
He had just had a fight with Bridget. She wanted to break up with him. She said he was too old. He grabbed and pushed her. And it was an accident. But she was dead.
Did he have this cameo, People's Exhibit 11, with him?
Yes. He said he grabbed Bridget by it and it broke off in his hand. He didn't even realize he had it until he got home.
If it was an accident, why didn't he turn himself over to the police?
He said he was afraid they'd investigate and find out about the prostitution. He didn't want me to get in trouble. He was only thinking about me.
Thank you.
If your father killed Bridget Kalin, why were you the one who fled the country?
I told you, he didn't want me to get in trouble.
Over the non-existent prostitution charges?
I didn't think that they were non-existent. I never thought I'd be arrested for murder. It wasn't murder anyway. He didn't mean to kill her.
And he didn't mean to take the cameo with him?
No.
Even though he gave it to her, you're sure he didn't want to get it back?
Objection calls for speculation.
I'll rephrase. You're sure you didn't want it back?
Why would I?
I don't know. Why did it wind up in your desk drawer?
I was hiding it. I thought it might be used for evidence. I wanted to protect my father.
You and he are close, aren't you?
Yes.
Being so close, how did you feel about your father giving expensive jewelry to Bridget Kalin?
It was none of my business.
But she was your business. How did you feel about your father getting involved with one of your whores?
Why are you doing this? I didn't kill her, and he didn't mean to. She fell and she hit her head.
You're sure about that, aren't you?
Yes.
Because you were there. Because you pushed her.
No! He told me. He told me. I'm sorry, Daddy. Sorry.
Has the jury reached a verdict?
We have, Your Honor.
The defendant will rise. On the sole count of the indictment, murder in the second degree, how do you find?
We find the defendant, Shelley Taggart, not guilty.
You understand, you can get a lawyer if you want.
I don't think we need a lawyer.
Now, yesterday morning, Jenny, you went out to play with your friend Tara?
First, Tara came over and we watched some cartoons. Then Mom said we can go to the playground.
You were supposed to be with Gabby.
Do you know a boy named Jake Hansen?
Yeah,
Did you go to his apartment?
I went with Tara. I just wanted to see if he can come play with us.
You told me you were going straight to the playground.
No, I didn't. This isn't fair. Why is everyone asking me questions?
This Jake Hansen, he lives in the same building as the boy that was murdered?
That's right.
You know something? My husband had a lawyer. Maybe I should talk to him.
He had a lawyer?
Vince is in jail.
For what?
Stealing cars. I want to make a phone call.
Remember how we talked about what you saw at the construction site, Tara?
I saw the man with the blue uniform.
Remember how I said you were getting to be a young lady?
Yeah.
Young ladies only tell the truth, right?
Right.
Unless they're bad young ladies. I know you're not really bad. I know that in my heart, okay?
Okay.
So I want you to tell me the truth about what happened.
He did.
You go to IS-48?
Yeah.
Like school?
It's hard.
Still play Little League?
Just soccer.
Ooh. Maybe I'm talking to the next Mia Hamm.
I'll never be as good as her.
But you're getting better, though, right?
I guess so.
When I was a kid, all my friends tried out for the basketball team. But I pretended I was sick.
Because you weren't good enough.
Yep. I never told anyone that before. I feel better now that I told you. You know, sometimes when you try to keep a secret, it hurts to hold it inside of you.
Yeah.
But if you have a friend to share it with, it feels better, right? I want to be your friend, Tara. I think you have a secret about what happened to that little boy. Hold my hands, Tara. It's okay. Go ahead. We're friends, right? I want to share that secret with you. It's okay to cry, Tara. All that pain you're feeling, I want you to give some of that to me.
Okay.
I'm not gonna let anybody hurt you if you tell, okay? I promise.
We didn't see the man at the construction.
Okay, good. was there? Tell me who was there.
It was me and Jenny.
What did you and Jenny do?
We took him there. The little boy.
Did somebody hit him?
Jenny did. Jenny hit him with a rock.
More than once?
Like this.
Did you hit him?
Just Jenny.
Did you know Jenny was gonna hurt him?
No.
What did you do after she hit him?
He wouldn't wake up. So we put him in the pipe.
And you pulled his pants down?
Yeah.
Why did you do that?
I don't know. Jenny said to.
It's okay, Tara. Thank you for telling the truth. You're a very good young lady.
I made mistakes. I was young.
You make a right turn from the left lane. That's a mistake.
Prostitution and drug dealing?
I was broke. It was an escort service, not sex for money.
No, drugs for money.
Can we tie something down here? The night Mr. Foster disappeared,
I told him. All of it. The drugs, everything.
you were at rehearsal.
I guess. 5 years ago. I've lived a lifetime since then.
Mr. Wallace was with you that night?
He probably would have been.
He was not with Mr. Foster, looking for new investors?
Your production. We heard they were cracking open the piggy banks for it.
They were running out of money.
Well, Josh and Gary never told me. Maybe... I know that week he was seeing a woman named Marilee Katz. She books charity parties.
They were running out of money. Why do you think they came to me?
You don't look like a banker.
Theater charity parties, Detective. You don't need a banker. I take your show to the United Way for their annual benefit. They fill your entire theater.
Did you sell tickets for Bleak House?
Do I look like I'm crazy? I don't book a show if I don't think it's gonna open. I mean, everybody knew that show was in financial trouble.
The night you talked to Wallace, you want to open your diary now and tell us when he was here?
The IRS, they tell you 7 years. After 2 field audits. I keep my diaries forever. Gary Wallace, he produced more dogs than a mongrel in heat. Do you really think that Gary could have done? I mean, whoever killed Josh Foster, it wouldn't have been somebody like Gary.
The time he was here, please, ma'am. Thank you.
Sorry. I saw him 6 p.m., had a dinner reservation to Novi's in the Village. 8 p.m. Had to be out of here by 7.
Joshua was so innocent, you wanted to make sure he wore his overcoat in the winter.
He didn't wear it when he was shot.
I didn't see him that night.
And Mr. Wallace?
Gary wouldn't kill Josh. It was that, driver, what's his name? I mean, he was like out of a gangster movie.
You know about gangsters. Drug-dealing gangsters.
I dealt drugs because I was poor.
The night Mr. Foster disappeared, you told police that you were in rehearsal.
We can't find anyone who saw you there before 9 o'clock.
This Lloyd, whatever his name is, he killed the man I was gonna marry. And I didn't come here to be accused.
Lloyd Dana calls me, says Leslie wants to move 70, 80 pounds of coke.
She tell you why?
She wants to buy into this show, get this fat man Foster off her back. Says if she owns a piece of it, she can get rid of him.
Call Soretta and Logan.
You know, there's a lesson in this. Never fall in love with an actress.
Rex Harrison said it. They never stop acting.
Miss Hart. Leslie Hart, you're under arrest for the murder of Joshua Foster.
Is this some kind of a joke?
A sketch for your new show. Will you put some cuffs on her and get her in the car?
Hands behind your back, please.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law.
Leslie and me, when we were younger, we sold some drugs together.
Now, on this occasion, 5 years ago, when Miss Hart asked you to purchase cocaine, did she tell you why?
Objection. Calls for hearsay.
Overruled. Utterance in furtherance of the conspiracy. Mr. Ketchum?
Some people had fronted us some coke. She wanted to put some of her own money in the show. Otherwise, she'd have to marry this fat slob to get anything.
When the narcotics were delivered, did Mr. Foster say anything to you?
He was nervous, shaken. I think this jerk doesn't know cocaine from shoe polish. He's watching Leslie unload the trunk, and he says real loud, "She's beautiful, isn't she? But if she did anything to hurt me, I'd call the cops on her."
Did Miss Hart hear what he said?
She heard, and she didn't like it at all.
Mr. Ketchum, did you recommend that Miss Hart hire Mr. Danner as a driver?
She wanted muscle. She said you never knew might come in handy.
Thank you. No further questions.
Who paid Mr. Danner's salary?
As far as I know, Wallace.
So Miss Hart never hired him.
No, not really, no.
Mr. Ketchum, this federal indictment, in your plea bargain, you agreed to how many years in prison?
9 years.
What was the maximum sentence?
30 years, give or take.
You saved yourself 21 years. Is that an inducement to tell the truth?
Objection.
Withdrawn. I have no questions of this witness.
Have you ever seen the defendant, Gary Wallace, before today?
About a year ago, in the visitor's room in Dannemora. Came to see Lloyd.
What was Mr. Danner's mood after that visit?
Lloyd went nuts. He said they knew he was up for parole, and they were talking about that he better watch his back and not talk about the fat man if he got out.
Thank you. No further questions.
Mr. Pollard, what crime did you commit that put you behind bars?
Dope dealing.
Is that all? Was there an assault conviction for beating up a 56-year-old woman?
That was my sister-in-law.
Well, that certainly makes it acceptable. No further questions.
I waited for Josh to show up. He said that they'd be there with a new investor.
At this rehearsal, were either Mr. Wallace or Miss Hart present?
Mr. Wallace, he said that he would be there about 8. He got there about 9:30, and Leslie showed up about a half an hour later.
Now, this conversation with Mr. Foster, when you told him that Mr. Wallace and Miss Hart were not romantically involved, did he say anything?
He said he thought I was lying.
Thank you.
Mr. Highland, were you ever romantically involved with Leslie Hart?
Briefly, in college.
Did you ask Miss Hart to marry you?
Yes, I did, but...
Were you jealous of her other relationships? Did you speak of your jealousy in front of other people? Are you testifying today out of anger?
No. I was over her.
Thank you. No more questions.
A spurned lover. Wonderful.
You didn't tell us.
And 2 dope dealers. Better.
This isn't the style page of the New York Times, Adam.
Yeah.
Scummy case, you get scummy witnesses.
Right.
What if I offer a Hartman, too?
Offer whatever you want. Dinner in the Rainbow Room, round trip ticket to Paris. If I were her, I'd wait for the jury.
Hart rolls, Wallace takes the plea, we can all go home.
Yeah, maybe not. If you don't put Wallace or Hart next to the gun, forget a conviction.
Conspiracy 2, she testifies Wallace paid the driver to kill Foster.
Miss Hart, I must be dumb. You dealt the drugs, you got the money, but Wallace gave the order?
It was Gary's idea. I loved Josh. I was a kid, for God's sake.
You loved him, but you didn't call the police.
I was afraid they'd kill me, too.
Danner was afraid you'd kill him. You're afraid he'd kill you? I think you're confusing fear with greed. Manslaughter 1.
Mr. Wallace smells bad to that jury, not my client. Conspiracy 1.
Maybe Wallace has a better story.
Whose story the jury gonna believe?
Mine.
Stop doing that with your eyes. You keep doing that with your eyes, they'll stay stuck like that for the rest of your life. Didn't I warn you? You hear me? You're gonna learn, mister. You are going to learn, or it's the last thing I do. Come here! Come here. Come on. You're gonna listen to me for once and for all. I'm gonna teach you a lesson you're never gonna forget. Come on! Come on! You have to learn! You have to learn! What are you doing? That's not yours! That's not his! He's gotta learn! He's gotta learn!
I know. She seems to be improving.
Blismus. It's an involuntary reaction. It's a sign of deep cerebral damage.
Deirdre didn't just hit her head, Carla. Somebody must have done something to her.
What did you say Jacob was?
He's in custody. Don't worry, he can't hurt you.
Is he all right? I mean, nobody can, get to him, can they?
Why would anyone want to get to him?
Well, he's a very attractive man. Did he ask for me? I really need to see him.
That's up to him. Now, Carla, try to remember. Did you ever see Jacob strike either of your children?
He's a very loving father.
He's beaten you.
He loves me. We're very much in love.
Do you know that Ezra's with juvenile authorities under protective custody?
No, how can I be expected to know anything?
How you doing?
I can use some more stuff,
In a little while. I'm afraid I'm gonna have to ask you to come back another time.
No problem.
It's just that I find it hard to believe.
Trust me, I don't go around delivering news like this is a gag.
What about my baby? Is he all right?
He's okay. He's in a foster home until this thing gets resolved.
Oh, Ezra.
Yes, of course. What baby were you referring to? Your husband? Is that who you're thinking about at a time like this?
So it's resolved.
What do you mean?
Dee Dee's gone. It's over. Resolved. I'd like to get some rest.
Carla, this is very serious.
I know that. I'm accused of murdering my own daughter. Isn't that it?
Yes. Yes, you are. We have a witness who saw you roughing Deidre up that night. But only you and your husband know which one of you hit her. And maybe you didn't hit her. Maybe your husband.
Nobody hit Dee Dee.
Okay. Pushed her down. Maybe she wouldn't stop crying, so he picked her up and
He picked her up,
and then he threw her?
and then he laid hands on it
What do you mean?
to fix it, to make it better. Jacob says that healing is a matter of adjusting your mind to God's will.
What a pleasant surprise.
On Dee Dee Lowenstein, did you find evidence of sexual abuse?
No.
Did you look?
No.
Why not?
Because nobody told me to.
Somebody just did.
The point, Miss Green.
Your Honor, Carla Lowenstein was battered almost to death by Mr. Redding's client. To try them together would be a terrible injustice.
Since we're not in open court, could we dispense with the feminist rhetoric and talk bottom line? I mean, since I do agree with you on one point. Dr. Lowenstein is innocent of murder since he did not strike Deirdre. Therefore, I would like a severance.
Mr. Stone.
There has been a total disregard for the life of an innocent child, of two innocent children. I'd like to ensure that history doesn't repeat itself in the Lowenstein household. One of those two people struck a 6-year-old child with enough force to stop her brain from functioning. Neither one has been forthcoming, and both of them know which one did it. I think the truth will only come out if one turns on the other.
In the case of People versus Jacob Lowenstein, indictment number 6695, the charges brought are murder in the second degree, assault in the first degree, endangering the welfare of a minor. In the case of People versus Carla Lowenstein, indictment number 6695A, the charges brought are murder in the second degree, assault in the first degree, endangering the welfare of a minor.
Is the defense ready?
Ready, Your Honor.
Ready, Your Honor.
Are the people ready?
Ready, Your Honor.
Honey? Honey?
Mrs. Lowenstein,
Honey?
counsel is asked to advise your client to exhibit some restraint.
She was always yanking her, slapping her. She was always mad at Dee Dee.
Yanking and slapping and pulling her hair. This convinced you that Dee Dee was being abused, Miss Perez?
No. That's only what I saw her mother do to her. But Dee Dee was always coming in with much more serious injuries.
Objection. Miss Perez is not a physician.
Rephrase. Miss Perez, did you ever see any signs of physical abuse on Dee Dee Lowenstein?
Yes.
Could you describe them?
Large purple bruises on her legs, and they continued under her underpants. A black eye, scalded hands.
Did Dee Dee say how she had received these injuries?
She said, Mommy said I was naughty for not finishing my dinner.
No further questions, Your Honor.
No questions, Your Honor.
You may step down, Miss Perez.
Bitch.
It's your meeting.
Miss Perez was a powerful, if biased, witness.
I think the jury thought so.
Let's plea her down.
On what basis?
The basis of her being willing to accept limited culpability with mitigating...
I did it. I killed Dee Dee. I hit her.
Why?
I can't remember.
She was out of her mind on cocaine, which he gave to her. He abused her, he abused the children. He encouraged her to beat the little girl.
Mrs. Lowenstein, why would he want you to do such a thing?
He wanted me to train her.
I'm sorry?
To train her. For later. So we could both serve him.
Will you testify to that in the stand? Mrs. Lowenstein, intoxication is no defense for depraved indifference homicide. However, since we feel that she was coerced and that she was physically threatened, we'll accept a plea on man one.
And Dr. Lowenstein?
Him? I'll get him for murder.
my son's under sedation. This is not a good time.
We really do have to talk to him.
The children, the funeral arrangements, he's very upset.
Mr. Ryder, sorry to bother you. If we could just have a minute privately?
The family is in this together.
I really don't think.
No. No, it's all right.
Your wife. There's medical evidence that indicates that she had intimate relations in the 48 hours before she died.
Well, that's impossible. I went to Southampton on Thursday.
Well, if it wasn't you,
What are you saying? My wife was having an affair.
I'm sure Lois was doing no such thing.
If we could track her movements, we might find a witness to her murder.
It can't be. I know my wife.
It's possible the lab was wrong. If you would just take a blood test, we'd know it's you. We don't have to look for someone that doesn't exist.
My daughter-in-law is dead. My grandchildren don't have a mother. And you want to drag my son through some cheap scandal.
I don't think so. No.
Did her husband know about the affair?
I saw him last month at a hospital fundraiser. He smirked at me. He knew. Lois didn't understand what she was doing. I did. I was there to make him jealous.
He's cooperating. He didn't kill her. I know it. You know it.
She's using him. Maybe he loses his temper.
The elevator man says the doc's wife got home 40 minutes after Lois Ryder left. He was waiting at the door for her.
Well, it gives him just about enough time. Fire escape dumps into a locked yard. There's a tall fence. So the doc goes out, climbs the fence, clobbers Lois Ryder, hauls her body from the west side to the east side, and gets home just in time to kiss his wife hello. What is he, Houdini?
Yeah.
The doc here says that Ryder knew about him, and Ryder said he didn't know.
I knew. I just didn't see why the rest of the world had to know.
We had to know. He was one of the last people to see her alive.
My granddaughter. Should she read in the newspaper about her mother's infidelity? And especially with someone so foreign.
Yes, he's from the west side.
Well, you know what I mean. He was not of our element.
No Jewish doctors in your crowd, huh?
Mr. Ryder, let me ask you something. Your wife's affair, you didn't have a problem with it?
Look, this thing with Dr. Friedman. My wife and I discussed it. It was ending. And frankly, I don't think he was very happy about it.
Lois and I? No. Just friends.
Are you friends with Mr. Ryder?
Prep school. We were on the swimming team, St. Luke's. I'm almost family.
How about Mrs. Ryder? Is she almost family, too?
Lois was killed by a mugger. Isn't that right?
This time that you spent with Mrs. Ryder.
She came to me because, well, let's say that my pedigree was marginally better than hers. She needed advice. Her marriage.
What's wrong with it?
Lois figured it went bad when Jonathan's mother left the wedding reception before the florist did.
My mother doesn't like my wife. I stopped worrying about that 20 years ago.
You are not Jonathan Ryder. You know, when we were in prep school, he wasn't doing well. His mother comes up. There's a new Ryder building. Suddenly, his grades are fine. She never let him forget that.
That he was a screw-up.
Takes its toll. He once booted the cat across the room.
Did he ever boot his wife?
Worse. Lois told me he offered her $3 million to leave. Just handed her a paper. Hi, honey. Sign this. Go away. She loved him. She wanted a marriage counselor.
Yeah, but he could get a divorce with her or without her.
Her share of the joint property in the neighborhood of $20 million.
Unless she just happened to die.
Jonathan doesn't have the giblets. Mama cut him off years ago. Maybe you should ask Barbara Ryder where she was that night.
Tennis rackets, skis, polo mallets, and what is this?
A lacrosse stick. My son hasn't played in years.
You mind if I use your phone again?
Not at all.
No baseball bats.
You should wait for my attorney.
Yes, ma'am. The law says we don't have to.
Yeah, give me Detective Lee, please. Thanks. Hey, Logan, you find anything? Oh, thanks. Nothing on the other side of town. Ryder says they wrinkled his suits.
Yeah? Well, he may not be wearing them for a while. Pen, silver, 1931.
We thought it would be more convenient for you if you saw us together.
Your lawyer said you wouldn't see me any other way.
Oh, there must be some misunderstanding. I hope we can dispose of this situation. Why don't we sit down? We left Jonathan's house just after 11.
Did you notice the time too, Mrs. Dickey?
Oh, Jane never wears a watch. I've tried to convince her for years.
You left your brother's house with your mother.
Jane's staying with me in the country.
We were so sorry to hear about Lois.
May I be frank, Mr. Robinette? I'm very worried about my son, as I'm sure your mother would worry about you. Jonathan's been accused of a horrible crime. I spoke with him this morning. He hasn't left his house in days.
Now that you have our statement, you'll drop the charges, won't you?
We are certain it was 11. My late husband insisted I be punctual. I always know the time.
This is People's Exhibit 12. Do you recognize it?
It's one of a set of 4 pins. My father had it made.
What is the history of these 4 pins?
My daughter has 2. Lois had 2. She was wearing one when she died. That one is missing. I borrowed this one from Jonathan.
Why did you borrow your dead daughter-in-law's pin?
I wanted to wear it to Lois's funeral. I wanted to have something of hers near me.
Thank you.
Mrs. Ryder, where were you when this photo was taken?
At Lois's funeral.
Would you show me where the pin is?
I can't. It was high on the left side under the collar. You can't see it.
Isn't it true that your son gave you the pin to hide after the funeral so the police wouldn't find it in his house?
No, that is not true.
And isn't it true that this is the pin that Lois Ryder wore when he killed her?
If my son had killed Lois, Mr. Stone, I would be leading the pack against him. Lois was a rider, too.
It's not good.
Oh, no, please. Don't tell me Morgan died.
Bad case of memory loss. Says he made it all up. There was no confession.
Barbara Ryder got to him.
Morgan's wife. Emergency visit to Rikers yesterday.
You talked to her?
She's done time herself. She's got a lawyer. I wonder how much they paid him to do another 2 years. Mistrial?
He gave us Ryder's daughter.
Where are they? Where are the Mexican kids who are working here?
People come and go. They probably went home.
All right, where's your friend, Mr. Armendariz? Downstairs?
Okay, let's go. This is Betty Drake. You're under arrest for the murder of Eduardo and Maria Carranza. You have the right to remain silent.
Docket number 52782, the People versus Rudy Armendariz, Ellis Drake, and Betty Drake. 3 counts murder, 2nd degree. 2 counts kidnapping, 1st degree. Everybody's pleading guilty, right?
Not guilty, Your Honor.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Your Honor, Mr. Armendariz has repeatedly visited Mexico. The risk of flight is substantial. We request that he be held without bail. For Mr. and Mrs. Drake, $250,000 each defendant.
Mr. Armendariz owns a business that needs his attention, Your Honor.
The risk of flight.
It's humongous, Counselor. The charge is murder, not spitting on the subway. No bail. Mr. Dunlap?
Your Honor, my clients are innocent victims of a career criminal and an ungrateful orphan they tried to help. They took him off the street, they set him up in business, they bought him a house as a wedding present.
Oh, this isn't about slave labor. It's about a dysfunctional family. Why don't we send it to family court? Family Values Week is over. The people's request is granted, and Mr. Dunlap, no bond, all cash.
If you're convicted, Mrs. Drake, you'll die in prison.
I'm going to die in my own bed, at home, with my dear husband next to me.
Mrs. Drake, we don't believe that you killed Ira Bender or those children. But if you try to save Mr. Armendariz, you'll go down with him.
Betty, he's offering 12 years. You're facing 75 to life.
I'm no lawyer. You guys would sell your mother for a day at the races. We don't testify against a boy we brought up like our own son.
Mr. Drake?
Mr. Armendariz, he asked kids to work in the sweatshop.
Did you personally hear him ask Maria and Eduardo Carranza if they want a job sewing wedding gowns?
Yes, he asked them in the club.
Did there come a time when you looked for Maria and Eduardo because you hadn't seen them in the neighborhood?
I had a letter from Eduardo's mother. She didn't hear from him. I went to the sweatshop, the factory. The boss told me Eduardo and Maria went home to Mexico.
Is that man in the courtroom today?
That man there.
Let the record indicate he's pointing at the defendant, Ellis Drake.
Record will so indicate.
Thank you. No further questions.
Mr. Lopez, did you ever go inside this sweatshop during the time when Maria and Eduardo were supposedly working there?
No, I didn't.
Well, then you never actually saw them in there with Mr. Drake, did you?
No?
How well did you know Eduardo and Maria?
Just around the neighborhood.
Well, then, in point of fact, they might have gone back to Mexico without your knowing.
No, they would have said goodbye.
Really? To a casual acquaintance? Even if they left in a hurry?
The boy pointed at you, Mr. Drake.
If they want to convict anyone, it's not your wife or Sonny Boy.
A time out. We agreed, no separate deals.
You think we'd turn against each other? We're family here.
Oh, cut the family number, Mrs. Drake. We all know who's playing musical beds.
Hey, I got music in me. What does that prove?
Stop it! Shut up! It's bad enough you're doing it!
She begged for it, man. She screamed for it.
Mr. Drake, manslaughter won 2 counts. You only do 9 years.
Hold on, you can't do that. Guard!
We're offering you a deal. You testify against your wife and Mr. Armendariz.
I'm leaving. You have to stop. You cannot talk in front of my client.
Fine, guard. Take Mr. Armendariz to a cell.
Ben, this is unethical.
You had to sleep with him. The money wasn't enough.
Now let's keep your mouth shut.
Bought him a house, rubbing my face in it.
You pathetic wimp.
That's what I am. Him? You couldn't stop. I'll do it. I'm going to jail. You're going with me.
He got these Mexican kids, and we promised to pay them by the piece. End of the week, Rudy said, don't pay them. They can't complain.
Did there come a time when Mr. Armendariz suggested other ways of making money?
Well, he found these metal beds in a vacant lot. He said he could just tie the kids up. He did it with handcuffs.
Tell the court what happened when Mr. Ira Bender came to inspect your factory.
He wanted to see the back room. He opened the door. Rudy was inside. He got him around the neck. He handcuffed him, pulled his tie up. and he killed him.
And what happened to Maria and Eduardo Carranza?
We were trying to move them, and they tried to get away. Rudy killed them in front of the others. He said nobody would try to escape again.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Drake, you testified that you and your wife and Mr. Armendariz turned these people into slaves. Did you really do that?
Doesn't seem like something I could have done, but I did.
Why are you testifying today?
We deserve to be punished. All of us do.
Is that the reason? Or is it your agreement with the district attorney for a reduced sentence? 9 years instead of 75.
The sentence doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter to me. Tell us, Mr. Drake, was your wife sexually involved with Mr. Armendariz?
No, that's not the reason either.
But she was. And you were jealous. Were you also angry? What was the effect of that humiliation? Is it reason enough to implicate your wife and her lover in crimes that you committed? You alone?
I never killed those children.
Oh, what? You could only enslave them? Did you pay for Mr. Armendariz's liquor license? Did you buy him a house?
Only because Betty insisted.
Is that why? Or were you buying his silence to cover up your crimes?
No, that's crazy.
No, tell us, Mr. Drake. Why should we believe that Mr. Armendariz killed those children? Why shouldn't we believe you did it?
We knew that if everything went wrong and Amy miscarried, we couldn't be tried for murder. We knew that Amy had been pregnant for less than 24 weeks.
But you're not charged with murder, Chris. You're charged with attempt.
It's a joke. You think we would go through all this and not be sure? I knew it wasn't a crime.
How's that?
3 years, University of Wisconsin School of Law. 2 years practicing in Fond du Lac.
Thank you.
As an attorney, you are aware that the definition of murder varies from state to state.
Sure.
So that what constitutes murder in Wisconsin may be different in New York.
That's right.
Did you ever attend law school in New York?
No, but I...
Yes or no, sir?
No.
But now you claim to know the law in New York.
I can read, Mr. Stone.
Well, then maybe you can tell us, Mr. Baylor, what happened to your license to practice law?
Objection, irrelevant.
What's your credibility, Your Honor?
Answer the question. It was revoked.
You mean you were disbarred? Sir?
I made a terrible mistake, but we didn't break any laws. But you testified that Chris intentionally hit you. You said it was all part of your plan. We never meant to hurt it. I am so sorry about the baby. I wish I could take it back. And what about Mr. Alcott? Does he deserve any sympathy? I take it you don't care for him? He cheated on his wife. He cheats the government for a living. He deserves whatever happens to him. Amy, have you been examined by a doctor recently? Yes. And what did he say? As a result of the kicks, there was severe damage to my uterine wall. Which means? I'll never have another child.
Objection, relevance.
Sustained.
Thank you, Amy.
Miss Newhouse, you testified that you didn't intend to have a miscarriage, yet you meticulously planned the attack to assure that the fetus would be under 24 weeks of age.
Chris said it was a fail-safe, just in case something went wrong.
Can you tell us why Chris was disbarred in the state of Wisconsin?
Answer the question, please.
Subornation of perjury.
You know what that means?
He encouraged a witness to lie on the stand.
And do you think Chris could be at it again?
Objection.
Sustained.
Miss Newhouse, do you know what it means if you can't prove that you and Chris knew the law prior to committing the acts that resulted in the death of your baby?
Objection. The witness is not an attorney, Your Honor. She is not competent to determine this.
On the contrary, Your Honor, Miss Newhouse's entire defense is based upon the fact that she knew the law. She cannot now argue that she is incompetent to testify as to its meaning.
Answer the question, young lady.
What would it mean, Miss Newhouse, if you didn't know the law?
We would be guilty
Of what?
of attempted murder.
Of trying to kill your own baby.
We committed no crime. Nobody got hurt.
No crime? I mean, what do you call the plan that Christopher Baylor and Amy Newhouse concocted? They lured her own employer, David Alcott, into having an affair with her. They convinced him that their own pregnancy was his. And then they did the unimaginable. They staged an attack in which Christopher Baylor savagely kicked the mother of his own child in the belly. And they say it's no crime? They killed their own child for greed. No crime? The only possible way that this is not a crime is if you can manage to convince yourself that that couple had specific knowledge of an obscure penal code. I, however, believe that if you review the evidence, you will find that when they came up with this heinous plan, they were unaware of the 24-week statute, and that they are guilty of the crime that was in their hearts all along, the crime of attempted murder.
Have you reached a verdict?
We have, Your Honor. We find the defendants, Amy Newhouse and Christopher Baylor, guilty of attempt to commit murder in the second degree.
Motion to set aside the verdict.
Denied.
Gillian should have set aside the verdict. The only basis was horror.
The public is all over us when a known criminal walks on a technicality. I just flip the coin. I'll let the people use a technicality to convict.
I'm sure they'll appeal.
Well, the jury disbelieved their testimony. Last time I looked, that is not reviewable upon appeal.
But they were telling the truth.
I'm not going to lose any sleep over it, and I don't think the jurors will either. There's another bit of justice.
What's that?
She'll never reproduce.